So there was this idea. We were getting ready to celebrate our 150th anniversary in 2021, and somebody said, I think it was Mike Maloney.
By the way, so was the 150 tree thing, that was your idea, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike Maloney said, what if we planted 150 trees?
I mean, we all like trees. Who doesn't like trees?
Also, our logo is a tree.
So we started looking at where we could plant trees. You know, we have 17 branches across 2 states, but some places were going to be a lot easier than others.
Somewhere along the way, we decided to give away 150 trees instead of planting them for ourselves.
But with 17 branches and only 150 trees, we'd be giving away less than 10 per branch.
Plus, the lobbies were closed because of the pandemic.
I was talking a lot to Bud Johnston from the Mousom Way Land Trust.
Hi, I'm Bud Johnston, president of the Mousom Way Land Trust.
He suggested that white pine saplings would be small enough to actually fit through the drive-up tubes.
Well, we talked about it, but I'm pretty sure putting trees in tubes was just never going to happen.
Oh, no, we actually tried it. Here's the tube. Oh, wow, a tree!
Has a nice pine smell.
Don't tell Dennis I did that.
So we redid the math and we tried to figure out how many trees we could possibly give away.
And we came up with 1,871 trees.
1,871 trees.
Because of 1871, the year that we were founded. Yeah, it was a lot of trees. So we started to discuss the still untitled, still mostly unspecified 2021 tree planting project in the fall of 2020.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yep.
And we pretty quickly realized that none of us really know anything about trees.
Because
Yeah,
who knows? Who knows how much it costs to plant 50 trees?
right.
It might be
That's,
$50. Yeah.
Luckily, we have a lot of great nonprofit partners, and so we started talking to them and studying up.
like, I'm happy to just put feelers out with the people, with the folks that we have more of a relationship with.
Yeah.
And say, is this something that you're interested in?
This is an oak tree, an example of an oak tree here. It's a red oak, you can tell because it's got pointed edges as opposed to sort of a round lobed edge. And oak trees are known to be one of the most biodiverse species of trees that we have even throughout the country. There's so many thousands, I think hundreds of thousands of different types of caterpillars and other insects that rely on oak trees for nutrients.
Sarah Stanley was the executive director of the Kennebunk Land Trust at the time.
So this is a white pine tree, and I know that because it's got clusters, little bundles, and this is a cluster of usually 4 or 5 needles. A little sort of mnemonic trick that I like to say is, if you think white pine, WHITE, 5 needles. I mean, it's nature, so it's not always.
One reason that we chose white pine to distribute was because not only is it a native species, it still will be in 50 years.
Well, it all started when we had a woman, Sally Stockwell, from Maine Audubon, come down and talk to us. And she happened to mention in the course of the presentation that within the next 50 years or so, our climate will become like that of Maryland and the mid-Atlantic states. I started thinking that's going to have some effects on the trees, and I did a little bit of research and found, that in all likelihood the trees are going to have to change because some that we have and prize are cool adapted. They like cooler temperatures both winter and summer, and with climate warming, we might not have that. If we just sit here and watch it happen, that's not going to be good for the forest because it's going to lose forest diversity.
Bud and his partners at the Land Trust are actually working to assist in the migration of those southern species of trees up here to Maine, where they will thrive in the coming decades and help replace the trees that can no longer survive, which will help prevent conditions more favorable to invasive species. It is such an interesting and proactive project, and I mean, I told everybody that I met for like a year about what the Mousom Way Land Trust was doing. I was talking about trees so much, my kids started calling me the Lorax.
The trees, blah, 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 the trees, blah, 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 the trees. Then I called him the Lorax.
So I ordered our 1,871 saplings. I actually did order that exact number, although I don't think anybody ever actually checked to see how many we got. They arrived right on time on the Friday before Maine Arbor Week, and we spent a frenzied afternoon packing them into boxes for each of the branches, and then delivered them all on Monday morning, and then we waited to see how our customers would react.
So I have this sitting on my desk. Can you see it?
Customers are loving it. Some of them are taking 2 to 3 at a time.
We've given away about 50 trees in 3 days. So I am pretty hopeful that we can give away all of our trees.
It's going good. I think by the end of the day, we'll have very few left over.
I had 2 great customers yesterday. They were just, especially the one that just moved up here, and she's buying a new home. And so, I got all her disclosures and everything together, and then I handed her a tree and I said, "Welcome to Kennebunk Savings." And she was thrilled. And she said, "Is that really for me?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Could I have 2?" And I said, "Of course you can." Then she wanted the mug too, but I had to put my foot down on that.
It's really nice to see customers' responses and talk about not only the trees, but why we're doing it and how it ties into our roots. And people are so impressed with our 150th anniversary. They just love that. They can't say enough good things about it.
So again, we chose 1,871 trees for mostly sentimental reasons. We had no real idea how many trees we could actually distribute. But as Arbor Week drew to a close, we got our answer. Something like 1,400 trees went out the door that week. Now that meant we had 400 left over, but that was okay, because way back in the early Zoom planning days, we had seen this coming.
Let's say we do get the seedlings. We have 1,800 of them. We need a backup plan for what we're going to do with some of them if we can't give them away through our branches in a matter of a couple of days.
So 250 trees went to local elementary schools. Some of them are probably still in the bottoms of backpacks, but that's okay. Meanwhile, Rachel had been in touch with Bud at Malsom Way and our friends at the Hopewood Cemetery and Trails, who were happy to provide a loving home for the remaining trees, which meant that we got to spend the end of the week personally digging 150 holes in the ground. Anyway, in the end, I gotta say, it was a pretty good couple of days at the office.